What brand?
Core.
Oh, okay. I know.
We're rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Good.
We're live. I know. What's that brand that Mike Rashid has? Their plant protein. It's in the shop. You should know.
Ambrosia.
Well, no.
No.
Well, their plant protein is
Oh, Planta?
Planta. Yeah,
That's it.
but I don't know what the.
What's that brand called?
Planta?
Yeah,
That's the product.
brand.
I think that's
That's
it's
the product.
Ambrosia.
Oh, that's the
Ambrosia.
because
Oh, it
they
is
make
still
they make
Ambrosia.
nectar, which is like the superfood.
That's the brand.
Yeah.
That's
Super
the
cut.
product.
So it is Ambrosia. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
So you rolling plant protein?
Not me. Him.
Oh.
I am. Yeah,
I've had plants before though.
because the price of like raw whey isolate
Yeah,
has
whey
gone up a
isolate,
ton. So I'm not spending an extra $10 on the same amount of protein.
No. Hell no.
And there's digestive enzymes that Core puts in the vegan.
Yeah.
That's really good for me.
Which it's kind of crazy. I know Core has done digestive enzymes for some time in their proteins, but there's a lot of new brands that are coming out and they're like, oh, we're doing a digestive enzyme. It's like people have been doing that
Yeah,
for like
Action
10
Sludge
years.
has been doing
They've
it
been doing it
since they
for like
came out.
10 years. You know, so it's not anything new. It's just I guess people are starting to market it now. But
Yeah.
yeah. But anyways, this is the All or Nothing show, by the way.
Thanks for having
And
me.
you might see a fresh face,
Yeah.
a fresh stash, by the way, that push broom.
I know.
I was thinking about shaping it up this morning. I was
Yeah.
like, I'll let it be rough.
I feel like
and
I
tough.
got 50%
Rough and tough.
of that thickness. It's not thick enough I could roll with just the stash.
Not yet.
But in due time.
Yeah, let it.
All my facial hair goes right below the chin. It'll get thicker and
Yeah.
darker. I trimmed it up a little bit like yesterday.
I think
But
it's gravity. Just
Yeah.
pulling it
It's
down
Pulling
into the
all of
chin.
it down.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
karma.
Yeah,
That's what it
that
is,
too.
yeah.
My name's Austin. I got the boy, Brock.
The boy.
The boy.
Oh man, I'm a little boy. I just want to be a man.
What's that SpongeBob thing? Barnacle Boy?
Yeah, Barnacle
Barnacle
Boy.
Boy and Mermaid Man.
Yeah.
Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy.
I'll be the big
Yeah.
bubble from that one episode.
The
Nice.
dirty bubble.
The dirty
yeah.
bubble.
Well, we got Peyton.
Yeah, Peyton.
What's up, guys?
Local athlete.
Mhm.
Call him that. Just
Local athlete with
lifter.
GymFlo, 100%.
Yep, with GymFlo now. VCU student, right? You a
Yep.
senior?
Yeah, senior.
Okay.
Going into
So
my
almost done.
this is my
Seventh semester?
second to last semester. Next
Yeah.
semester is my last.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. How's that
Graduate
been
in
going?
spring. It's interesting, you know, because like when we went to virtual, like everything,
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
I was terrible with that. I'm a very like in-person
Yeah.
learner, and behind a screen just did not. Because I have ADD, and it's like I cannot sit and look at a screen that's
Yeah.
like boring as shit. Because we used to have to watch the Zoom links, and that was miserable. Being in a class is already
Oh, yeah.
miserable.
You're going to
but
make me watch you talk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Through a
at my
screen?
desk, like in my home, in my room, in my personal space, like no.
I'm blacking out my screen,
Exactly.
muting it, and I'm going to.
Yeah.
I'm going wherever.
My camera's broken on my laptop, so I actually had an excuse to have my screen blacked out.
Mine
It's
broke.
broke.
Mine
Yeah.
broke day one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Day one, mine broke too.
Yeah, but it's been going pretty well.
What are you going to school for?
Marketing with the minor in
Oh yeah,
sales.
you mentioned that. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm pretty into it. Like,
Yeah.
Minor in gender studies.
yeah, at VCU, like,
Yeah. Well, you
It's
better
you'd
know.
be
required at
surprised.
VCU.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a cool place.
Yeah.
I actually have like experienced a lot of like gender things and like addressing people as like incorrect pronouns and like getting corrected on it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get that. Never happens to me anywhere else, but they're like super inclusive. So
Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, yeah, I don't really care. Like, you do you. I don't.
Well,
mind.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be. At least this is my opinion speaking. But like, you can't be offended at me if I get it wrong without you wearing a name tag or some shit.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I won't purposefully like try and cause you or
Yes.
disrespect you. But if like I don't want to be forced or demonized for using improper pronouns or
Yeah.
whatever language that you prefer to use. you
Yeah.
know?
I think it just
So.
comes down to like
It's a tough campus to be. I
it's
feel
the
like.
patience of it. It's just like as long as the individual is patient with me and learning and like accommodating for them, then I would expect the same back. And
Yeah.
100%.
so
Expecting, my opinion, my thoughts as well.
yeah.
It's a two-way street, or hopefully
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And like in the VCU powerlifting, there's people who identify as like they, them, or they were born something that they are not now. So
Mhm.
they were maybe born male and they identify as female now. And like I've definitely like gone up to them and said like their name wrong or something.
Yeah.
And they're all just like, oh, it's this. And I'm like, okay, that's totally cool because end of the day, we're just here to pick up some weight and move around.
Now, and we don't have to get deep into it, but just because I was looking up federations for competing at Iron Belt, and we talked about it a little bit on the past with like transgenders in competition. How is that handled within the club? For instance, like when y'all go to do a meet as a team, because I know with USAPL, I think with most federations, they have you compete in the class that you biologically are.
Yeah. I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah.
Because
I guess it hasn't come up, in clubs.
Yeah, it hasn't. I know I think most of the officers are looking to compete in like November or end of October. But a lot of us who just hopped in, like me, I only started powerlifting like maybe 12 or 16 weeks ago. So not like I haven't been super long into it. But as soon as I joined, I started learning a ton, and like there's like 90 people.
Yeah, I heard
like
the close one. When Maddie was in
huge.
it had only been growing for I think 2-3 years, and it was like 14 people, 20 people.
Because I joined during the summer because Stu and
and this is all powerlifting.
Powerlifting,
okay.
yeah. I was lifting with Stu, and he told me to look into it. And then John Wilson, I trained with the two of them, and they were like, yeah, just join. So I joined over the summer when there was like 30 members. The first week of school, by the end of the week, it was like 130. And then they had to like remove people because there was so much interest, and some people weren't really committed.
Yeah, and plus you can't like organize anything, at least in that gym. Like there's not enough space to organize something like that.
We have to like split it into two separate sessions.
Yeah.
So it's like you have the like A group, which is an hour and a half, and the B group, and then it's like one session's coached, one's not. It's
Which group's crushing though?
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
we divided them equally.
Group A is like, I honestly like prefer Group A because that's like where there's coaching and like people are using. It's like beginners, so there's not a ton of heavy weight. But when you get into that Group B, the dudes have so many plates. It's so difficult to find a plate.
Group B fucks.
Yeah. Group B absolutely fucks.
Yeah. It's like a varsity JP.
And I feel like I'd want to be Group B, but I'd show up and they'd be like, hey, we aren't unracking these 5 plates. You either do it or you don't.
Like
all right, I'm gonna hang back out of Group A.
I was lifting with Group B, I think towards the beginning.
Got demoted.
And
hey, your group
basically,
is back down.
I just saw I actually, because he's basically just strong motherfucker in the area.
Who's
that? Tyler Penigua. His Instagram is
Big Flavor,
Big Flavor Official. I think he's doing his PT.
He's redshirting. He's hanging around. Okay.
But he came in after like not deadlifting for a long ass time.
Yeah, he's a 10.
And slaps 6 fucking plates on each side and does like 10 reps.
Well, he competed in the same bodybuilding show as me. A little bit of history.
Really?
Damn.
I didn't know he even did.
I think it's the only show he did. It was his first, and I don't know how long he was like planning for it. So, but it was good. Yeah, it was good. That's where I kind of met him a little bit.
So now that you're in this group, or what the fuck? What is it called?
It's a club.
Club. That's it.
Yeah.
I've lost my terminology. So now that you're in this club, are you going to be competing within this club, or are you doing like your own thing? Like you're just in it to learn. But I'm sure the club has a team, right, for competing.
You kind of compete together, and you get.
It's basically like you join the powerlifting club because you're interested in powerlifting and you're trying to decide if you want to compete with a federation, or you are actively preparing to compete in a federation. So you may not be competing soon, but you'll compete eventually. Because some people are like a year out, just trying to plan for shows or like competitions like that far out. But then there are other people who are like, I don't even know if I'm going to compete within the year.
Yeah.
My plan is to, before I graduate, compete. That's my goal. So I think 2022, I'm going to get like a coach and do like a solid like 8 to 10 week program building up to a comp.
So I think this is at least to me, I think it's a good question because there might be a lot of people like me. Low IQ, I'm just kidding. But I don't know anything about powerlifting really. So is it more beneficial to do it with a team or standalone? And what's like, when are you able to do it by yourself? Like go compete by yourself? Yeah.
I would say it's pretty similar to bodybuilding. Like if you've seen bodybuilding like teams, it's like everyone's competing individually, but you're working to get to that level together.
You almost have the support together, and especially when it comes to powerlifting, like you could help have a handler so they can help like judge like what your next number should be, or help get you like, hey, like you're on in like 5-10 minutes, or like, you know, help you warm up, blah blah.
Yeah.
Blah,
Okay, because
like
I know like when you've mentioned like, oh, Jahan will be on somebody's team to help
or he
boost
has his own
numbers,
team.
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, there's a team number, or is there a single like a
So there
single
are,
individual number?
Yeah, they're individual numbers, but I think there's also prize money or things you can win as a collective team. Maybe not in every meet, but I think in a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if let's say you go to, I could be totally wrong on this, but this is just my assumption. Let's say you go to like a smaller meet. Obviously, you're not going to take like all 90 people. You're only going to take like, for example, all the officers that are competing in November. A lot of them are competing together. So they'll go in as one small team. And then I'm assuming that their group numbers could total to some prize like payout.
Yeah.
But there's also, so what I would do would be raw. I'm pretty sure it's called full power.
Yeah.
Which is the squat, bench, and deadlift. But there's other like categories, like you could do raw bench, you could do equipped bench, you could do like raw squat, raw deadlift, just that, to try to have the highest total for that.
Yeah.
But when you do all three, which is what I want to do, they combine whatever your squat, bench, and deadlift, your total is for highest of each, and then that's how they place you based on your class, your age, like your weight.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that. I've heard the talk of like having teams, and I was like, well, what's, not that I'm not about teams and like becoming a part of a team, but I was like, what's the point? What's the benefits of being on a team than maybe just going solo and just be like, hey, I got this on my own. I know what I'm doing.
It's basically like if you're bodybuilding, like you want to, like a partner to push you to that, like
somebody. You always want that
little
outside eye perspective.
That's all it is. Just a really big
Yeah.
group of people watching each other.
So you said 2022 would be your hopefully goal of getting into your first competition?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
What are your numbers looking like now? Or have you been training for powerlifting like strictly enough to have some numbers?
So I started, when I first started about a year and a half ago, just working out. I was like looking to do, I was running a ton.
I was going to ask like what got you into lifting, so.
Yeah.
It was running because of COVID. So I started in like March or April. And I'd played soccer like all throughout high school, so I'd always do track in the winter. And so it was around that time of the year for me.
So real fresh to lifting.
Oh,
Yeah. And this was my junior year, and it's been since my senior year of high school that I actually like was working out regularly. So I lost a ton of weight. I was like sitting 145. I have like pictures in April, like I was tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny dude. And then Christian Geary, shout out him. He's one of, I like went to high school with him, and he and I had like classes together. And then he was a member, or he was a like sales rep at Gold's, and he got me on a membership. And he was like, dude, I'll literally like train you. I'll basically like give you a program for free and like give you advice and like teach you how to get involved into lifting. And so I did, and I was just dead set on bulk. He and I were like, let's get you to 190. Like it sounds far away, but that's like regular weight for your like height. That's what you should get to. So I was pushing, trying so hard to put on weight, and I hit a plateau around 177. I was that like skinny fat look because I wasn't eating enough, but I was like still working out super heavy.
Yeah.
And what I ate was shit. I didn't know what I was eating. And then Mauricio, he's a trainer at Gold's. I signed him as like my online type coach, and he would like message me and we would talk in person. He'd check me on form if needed be. Like he didn't really like train me there. We'd work out together, but it still wasn't like do this.
Yeah.
But he and I were like, all right, let's bulk, and then you'll compete in a show like around, it should have been around this time. And then I was like, okay. So we bulked up. I got to 188, I think, or no, it was 185. Yeah, 185 was like my heaviest. And then we were like, okay, let's go on a cut. First week of my cut, I still went up to 193 just because I was cutting back calories from such an oversized deficit. And so I was like 188, 185 after I'd been at 193. And I was like, God, I hate this. Like, I'm still fat, but like now I'm like losing strength because I'm in a cut.
Yeah.
So I'm frustrated with both. So now I've kind of like, I've been recomping since then, just kind of like losing weight here and then carbing back up and like really filling myself out again, like constantly every other week. And I've been like slowly growing and like getting leaner, and my numbers are, at least if they're stagnant, at least they're not dropping.
Yeah,
to me.
that's awesome.
And so I want to because I want to compete in the 84 kilogram weight class, which is 185 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting at like probably 186 or 187 right now, just slowly dropping down day by day.
And are you doing like cardio with this stuff, like with the cut? Okay.
Yeah, because honestly, like following your page for so long and seeing you run and
Don't
like
blow this guy's head up.
and still lift heavy. I mean, seriously though, like, because when I first when I first came to Iron Belt Party in the gym and like started working at the nutrition corner, I was like, who's this like not to be mean to you, but like I was like,
give it to him. Give it to him.
I was like, who's this douche that just like runs all the time? It's like, check me out, I fucking lift heavy and like fuck you, I'm running hard and I'm just working better.
You know how much hate he has gotten?
Oh no, I know.
For just being him, and like people from the outside, I can see that like this guy,
like this motherfucker,
this guy's
posting on his story,
this guy's running again and putting it in my face.
But it's just constantly
and this
like
he's up
face.
He's up for the sun up lifting, but I'm laying in bed
when
scrolling.
The sun's down. God damn it!
This guy never stops.
Yeah,
somebody put this dude down. But
you get to like know you, because you are exactly how you say you are. Like you look very like rough and like mean from the outside. And then over time, I like get to know you, and it's like the soft side comes out.
Yeah.
And then it starts to become, instead of like, what is it, like almost like jealousy or like envy.
Yeah.
It becomes like motivation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, hopefully it twists into that, because
ideally I'm more approachable.
Yes.
Yeah.
What people don't they see it, but they probably it gets blurred. The lines get blurred. Is that it's consistency all around, like. At least for you, you do it whether you do post about it or not. You have posted about it more lately.
What I like
but
posting, and why I post like boring shit like every fucking 3-mile run or 6-mile run on my story, is just because I want to show people like I'm like doing I'm practicing what I preach, and like there is no shortcut. Like it's literally every fucking day, every day here at 5 a.m. Like it's not.
There's no secret formula.
Yeah, there's no secret formula. I'm literally doing it. Like there's not.
And also to add in my little 2 cents is, you post. I mean, obviously I see you every day, but you posting and obviously fitting in your runs, sometimes 2-a-days, just goes to show me. When I was talking to my camera on a recent vlog, I was talking about getting back to biking more regularly, and I was like, I gotta make more time or find more time. I was like, you know what? I just need to structure my time better, because obviously if Brock's able to do it, and I get in around the same time he does in the morning, I have the same day.
Yeah.
It's not going to be comfortable.
But
it's not going to be
once
easy.
you figure it out though, and you make it important and a priority to you, you start to like figure out that you can get it done. You actually realize how much time you waste doing this or doing that.
Yeah.
And sometimes like just organizing things in your day, or figuring out, okay, well, if I run right after this lift, or I run at this time of the day, it fits well in, because then I'm coming home, and you realize, sometimes just how you structure things, you'll make it work.
Yeah, dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you
Everybody hates you.
I just made an Instagram post, and in the caption, something I said was, the only reason you'll fail is because of lack of preparation. If you set up a plan and you know that you want to follow it, and you know that it's going to take you to succeed, the only reason you should fail is not because you're lazy, but it should be because you failed to prepare. Mm-hmm. And so recently, I've been preparing a ton. Like, I plan out my meals for the entire week. I plan out my training for the entire week. I have a calendar that's like based on to like every minute.
Yeah.
Not obsessively, but like there's gaps to allow for like.
There's structure.
There's a ton of structure, and I have not been failing.
Good.
The only days that I fail is if I don't bring my meals.
No, I'm just fucking with you.
But I mean, yeah. So that's something I was going to say as well. It's like, no, it's totally accurate.
You're gonna have to call a guy out on the fucking show.
He knows it was a trick.
It's exactly as I say. Like, I don't even see it. So I was squatting, and I'm on a cut now, and like taking like a pretty not aggressive fat burn stack, but like I'm taking it slow and then pushing it slowly. And I was squatting today, and I burned a ton of calories yesterday, and I was trying to cram my face with food, and my stomach was like, "You're not hungry, dude."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Fuck, I am hungry." So I kept pounding food, and even this morning I was trying to slam like 3-4 rice cakes, like finishing a bag of rice cake crisps.
Yeah.
Like just pushing the fucking calories in, and like this morning I was doing squats. I had a 6x4 with 310, which I've done before. It's super easy. And the third set of 4, I go down for the fourth one, and I'm like, nope, the energy's not there.
Yeah.
Like all of it was gone. I pushed myself literally to failure.
And I was telling you, I attribute a lot of that to, a couple things. Like, one, different gym, different environment, even though the weight should be the same and it's calibrated plates, like things just feel different at a different gym. And then also the biggest thing I think was just training in the morning versus, usually training in the evening, and that can just throw things off as far as fueling, which you already know.
Yeah.
But I mean, even, with dieting and losing weight, sometimes it's not like you're getting weaker, but just the fuel matters that much more. Like when I'm bulking, if I don't have, let's say, a couple extra, like 30 grams extra carbs, it's fine. But if I don't have 30 grams extra carbs and I'm, let's say, at a lower body weight, I'm exhausted. After squats or mid set. It's a big difference.
Also, I don't know if like rice cakes are your particular thing you like to go to pre-workout, but if you're trying to cram in some like quick carbs, something that I particularly like is something like cream of rice.
Yeah.
Very, very obviously you can almost like drink it.
Yeah.
It depends on how you cook it, but it's very digests very quickly. You can eat a ton of it, 300, 400 calories like that.
I would normally honestly eat an apple and a rice cake or two.
Okay.
And that apple, I think it's because of all the like micronutrients and the vitamins in it. Oh my God! After an apple and some rice cakes, I feel like on top of the world.
Yeah.
Like so good.
A nice crisp apple does like
Yeah.
it makes me feel good. It's usually if you get a nice juicy one.
So I'm currently living with my parents until I move into my place next week, which you guys know, but I'm just saying so they have kind of an update.
So the people know.
The people know. But I usually have apples in the fridge, and I'll like come downstairs, eat a cold apple, I'll like rinse it off. It's incredible.
What type of apple are you doing?
Gala apple
Gala.
red.
Okay,
They're
nice,
so
man.
good.
Yeah.
And it's like, I want to say it's like 80 calories, but it's like 25 or 26 grams of like
It's like all carb,
Yeah.
all sugar.
Yeah.
And like it's just so good. And then I have 2 rice cakes. And so I came here and then I failed out a squat and I went to go do the pendulum squat. Is that what it's called?
The Dynabody Super Squat?
Yeah.
I was going to ask how you like that. I saw you
So I go to use it and I literally like, I don't do any weight and I'm just warming up and I'm like, holy fuck, I have no energy. So I racked it back. I stopped, went out to my car, unlocked it and ate like 2 rice cakes.
Yeah.
Help.
And I came back in, and then I loaded a plate on, and it was easy. I loaded 2 plates on.
Nice.
It was easy.
Yeah.
Then I did some quad extensions and called it a day.
You should have hollered at me. I got some like lemonade back here loaded with sugar. You
Yeah.
I could have straight.
I just know the cake like digests really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rice cakes are usually pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good, man. Well, since you're training for the show or competition in 2022, what's the goal now? Besides cutting this like short little mini cut you're doing, you got any other like goals in the meantime?
I would say just being more consistent with everything.
I mean, you're still so kind of new. Like,
I was gonna say,
not
like,
to like take away from anything you've done so far, but like in the relative aspect of like somebody like me that I'm a little older too. I'm 31, but I've been training for almost 11, 12 years.
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm just catching a stride some days. But, still so much more to learn and, like, figure out with your body. Everybody's body's different.
Yeah.
But.
That's, like, my Instagram handle is not that big. And so it's like, I've posted about it before. But that's exactly what it means.
Yeah.
Like, I'm super new to this. I'm only really a year and a half of, like,
Which
consistent.
is exciting.
Yeah.
It's just so much more potential.
I have, like, so much to look forward to. Which really, like, helps with anxiety and everything because it's like I have a future goal. I'm not just like working aimlessly.
Yeah.
But the whole point is like I'm not that big. I'm not that large of a human. I'm not that incredibly strong of a human. I'm not even that big like social media wise. But that's the constant reminder is, hey, you're not that big. Like keep going. Like keep working.
Yeah, the humble reminder.
I like that.
Yeah, because you guys were talking about like like Miles was talking about how he will have people like compliment him, and he's like, no, like don't say that because you're gonna get me to like relax and not try to keep pushing it forward, keep moving it forward, and at that point, then you start to just fail. You start to not achieve your goals because you're so relaxed. You're like, oh, I'm doing so much better than everyone else.
Yeah, a little bit of complacency.
Yeah. So that like constant kick in your ass, that like constant reminder, like, hey, you're not that big. You can keep growing.
I'd say goals are the biggest thing for that too, and having like some kind of structure like we're talking about. Because I think, I don't know, you can talk about it, you've been feeling about it, but Maddie and I have been talking a little bit about how like the past year, maybe it's since quarantine, maybe I think it's a combination of things, right? Because, you know, with the quarantine, with both of us kind of diversifying like training a little bit, with, you know, a lot of focus being put on the gym, multiple different factors, I feel like I haven't been that amped up or excited to lift. And it's not like I still love training. I love my workouts. I don't even think twice about getting them done. And there are like probably majority of workouts I still have a good workout. I'm excited about it. But it's just, I think since I haven't had a specific goal for lifting like I have for now running, the almost like fire behind it isn't the same as it was for like the first 6 years of lifting, when I feel like you have the world is your what do they say? The world is your oyster. Yeah. And so, you know, I almost in a way like envy your situation. Also remember kind of like where I was at a year and a half. I wasn't anywhere near as, you know, knowledgeable as like you are with this stuff. So it's good that you're, you know, absorbing as much as you can. YouTube is a million times different.
Oh my God.
Than I mean, you can probably like imagine like years ago. I mean, I guess when I was a year and a half in, it was like 2016. So, I mean, C-Bum was probably still in high school at that point, you know, and a lot of the people that are big now are, you know, are nothing. And the Christian Guzman was just probably starting Alpha Elite's first gym. You know, it's just such a weird time. So there was still so much information then than when you were coming up. It's probably just bodybuilding.com for him. So it's good that you're taking advantage and absorbing so much, because I think a lot of people just, you know, just go up, or they just listen to the gym bros and the, you know, whatever golds they're at, and I get bad information. But.
You know, thinking back on that, like, I think some of the first workouts, I might have, like, not done the whole workout, but I was getting exercises from magazines. That's how long ago it was.
Wow. I used to look up online articles in magazines,
I used to, so when I was in high school, I started high school when I was 14, so that was 2014. And then probably my sophomore year when I was like 15 or 16, I started, in addition to playing soccer, I started working out. And Bradley Martin was the guy that I watched at the time. And I'm like looking back now, and I'm like no disrespect to him, but he was like, here's how you can eat an entire pepperoni pizza and stay lean. And then the next video was like, here's how to bench. And it's just like,
yeah, I remember watching his first few videos.
What?
I think he had a lot of clout from Omar Isuf's videos, if you know who that is.
He was also the I found out about
yeah.
him because he was a personal trainer for FusiTube. If
Yeah,
you've ever heard of him.
I've heard of him.
But FusiTube, his name's like Yusuf Erekat.
He does like prank videos, right?
Yeah. But then he switched to vlogs, and Bradley was in the vlogs all the time.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yo, Bradley, like, you're so big, like, just start your own YouTube.
Yeah.
And he did, and like, I mean, that's a perfect example of keep grinding, because look how big he's grown.
It's unfortunate because I feel like maybe somebody like him with a following could give out, like we were almost hinting at a little bit, like a lot more value than just like the insane feats, like the crushing the pizza. Yeah. Here's this crazy squat with 2 chicks on my back type
but
deal.
I'll say it's tough though, because I feel like a lot of the people like him, like he used to do that a little bit, and I feel like a lot of people started with topic or tip based videos. But there's only so many times you can show someone to do a curl before you get exhausted.
And it doesn't have to be like strict, like, oh, we're gonna do strict curls a day, but like have some fun, but also not just be straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he also
craziest feet ever.
Yeah. I don't know if that was the Vine era. Maybe that was middle school. But he had a video of him jumping. Like, he was like 240 or 260. I could be totally wrong. But he was heavy. Yeah. And he jumped out of a pool that was like 3.5 or 4 feet
I think
tall.
I remember seeing that video.
I was like, oh, my God. Like, who is this guy? Yeah. And then he had a YouTube channel. So I was like, well, if I'm going to get big like him, I'm just going to listen to this guy.
Pizza a day.
Pizza a day. And then You know, that was.
Yeah.
I didn't get anywhere in the gym.
Speaking of YouTube, this is like a side branch, but I had that video I did on starting my supplement company. It was like a little series. I did like 2 episodes, 3 episodes on it on my YouTube like a year ago, right when we first moved in here pretty much. And Brock, he gave me the idea, and I was like, damn, it is a pretty good one. I'm sure a lot of people would love to hear the story of how I started GymFlo. So I did like a hour-long video split into 2 sections explaining sort of the startup, blah, blah, blah. And I don't think I said in the video to like reach out, let me tell you how I did it, and let me give you my sources. But like lately, I unlisted the video because I was like, I'm tired. I would wake up.
You unlisted it?
Yes. Well, I'll probably put it. I could put it back up. I probably could. But the thing is, I was getting DMs. Please send me your manufacturer and how your bulk ingredients and this and that. Give me this, give me that. And it's like I was responding back to almost everybody, being like, "Yo, I'm not gonna spoon feed you this shit. I wasn't spoon fed."
Yeah.
Yeah, or that.
You need to just start.
Yeah, I need to start my side hustle for real.
For like
referrals. Yeah. Damn.
That's a smart
video's
idea.
going back up today, by the way.
Where's my commission?
I think that's literally like if you think about like a perfect example of a YouTube like story that blew up recently is Anthony Mantello's like prep series.
Yeah.
That's the same thing.
I'm not sure who
I don't
that is
get
either.
those kids. I'm a hater.
Because it's like you're going to like they're going to the moon. You're trying to like achieve a significant feat, and it's like if you document the process, people fall in love with the process.
100%. And I'm documenting like GymFlo currently as much as I can. I'm starting to do that more. I just got to remember to pick up the camera. But my story of this going back to YouTube is that people are reaching.
My water, the white bottle.
People are reaching out to me.
Thank you.
Without doing any research on their own. And I'm like, yo, if you can't at least do their own research, YouTube and Google, YouTube being your mama and Google being your daddy, asking them where to look first, you're not going to make it off the ground at all. You'll get eaten up. I'm getting eat the fuck up, and I'm doing like as much research as I can.
It's almost like that feeling of like.
But you aren't going to make it anywhere if you can't do the research on your own. YouTube, Google, there's so many free things out there to learn. I'm not trying to be like a hard ass, but do some effort.
Yeah.
Give me some effort, and then I'll try and help you if you need more.
It's exactly like I was saying to Miles the other day. Like, if you're doing something and someone asks you how to do it, you can kind of tell when sometimes it's like this person genuinely needs help versus this person doesn't actually give a fuck. They're just like, how did you do it? And like, since I've joined, sorry, I keep saying like, I need to stop doing that.
Oh, you're good.
Since I've been sponsored by GymFlo, I've had several people reach out and be like, yo, like, how'd you get the sponsor?
Yeah.
And it's almost like it doesn't matter how like strong you are. It doesn't matter how much better you look than me. Like, none of that matters because at the end of the day, like, you're not sellable. Like, you don't sell yourself. Mm-hmm. So to ask me, like, how did you get sponsored? Like, I'm stronger than you. It's disrespectful. Like, it's it's like, why don't you at least consider, like, look at your content versus mine, maybe, for example. I'm putting effort into it every single day. I'm still working at it. Mm-hmm. I'm still posting as frequently as I can, still trying to develop a story so that people can follow along and be like, this person has character.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And all you're doing is posting nothing with personality. It's just it's just
a lot
bland
of people,
stuff. And you're like, oh, why am I not sponsored? It's like, I don't even know you. Mm-hmm. Because your social media is how I know you, and there's nothing on there.
Yeah.
I don't know you. So don't ask me, like, how can I become sponsored as if I'm going to give you, like, an in. Yeah. As if I'm going to be like, oh, here you go. I'll, like, put in a word for you, and here's your sponsor. And then on top of that, it's like, if it's that easy, is that what you want to be partnered with?
100%.
Like, it's not special. You and I were talking about that with Miles.
Yeah.
It's like it's not special at that point.
And, you know, I get DMs. Hey.
Some women.
Some
male.
Some male. Yeah, that's definitely split. But they'll ask, hey, will you sponsor me? Or, hey, how can I become an athlete? Or, hey, this and that. And this person doesn't even follow our page.
Yeah.
This person's never bought from us. And not that you have to buy from us. You have at least had to try the product. Yeah. And if you don't follow us and you probably haven't ever bought from us, there's a good chance you probably haven't ever tried the product. So why the fuck would I bring on somebody that doesn't even know if they like me, the brand, the product? You know how disingenuous that would be? And like, just, I don't know. I don't see how it doesn't connect in a person's head.
Yeah.
But maybe there's a different like.
And if you look at these people's accounts, it's like, like we talked about with even like the supplement people, it's like you need to go out of your own way to try and build your brand on your own before you try and ask someone else, like, how can I be like you? Or how can I, get this benefit, this perk, this system, whatever you have, Yeah. And it's like, again, it goes back to they just want the quick shortcut, or they want, the simple formula, or this or that,
There's no secret sauce. It's just you got to keep doing it.
And it's hard to, like, not for me to swallow this, but I see, or I feel, and even Brock not being a part of GymFlo, like, we feel who fits or who would be a fit, like somebody maybe in the making or somebody that is doing their thing and we really like them, they fit with what we have envisioned. Not everybody's going to fit GymFlo. Like, there's going to be people out there that obviously you want to be a part of it, but just because, we have, a mission and a vision, not a vision, but, not everybody's going to fit.
Yeah.
We're not for everybody.
And I don't like the idea, like, you referenced it, where it's like, oh, but I'm stronger than so-and-so, or I'm bigger than so-and-so.
It doesn't matter.
Who gives a shit? I just think there's so much.
That's what I'm saying.
And I talked about it last week. I think there's so much ego in the sport that it's just so off-putting. Like, the more I'm around it, it is just so draining to just deal with, this, when it's like there's always someone, bigger than you, or there's always someone stronger than you. It's like, having a great wife and family and just still worried about the next hot chick down the street. There's always going to be some other woman, but you need to, appreciate like what you have.
Yeah, and there's aspects to it. It's either you are giving value and help and knowledge, which I believe you do. You already obviously work with the nutrition corners, and you give out a ton of advice and have learned a ton through them with supplementation and obviously training. But also, you obviously work out with the powerlifting club, so you're able to give out knowledge and stuff through that and just help people that then there's other aspects as far as consistency or
content,
being inspirational or motivational. There's people like somebody like Miles who gets people fired up. Oh man, he's crushing, he's putting in the work for his prep. Damn, I want to get as lean as him, or I want to be on that level, like that's going to get me fired up. There's different aspects but everybody's focused on themselves. Miles is focused on him. You're focused on, getting stronger, your goals, but you're not bending for GymFlo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're doing you, but you fit within the lines of the rails.
Framework.
Your framework. There you go.
I mean, like,
I
like
that.
GymFlo enough.
Thanks.
And I think that's where like sponsorship comes into play, I think, is like, I just really fuck with the brand.
Thank you.
Right? Like, my dad, shout out my dad, happy early
shout
birthday.
Out Pops. Yeah.
His birthday is on the 7th.
How old is he?
He was born in 73, so...
That's weird you know the year, but not his age.
47? Is that 47?
48.
48.
I can't
It's
do
48.
math.
Yeah, he's 48.
Okay.
But, like, I love this brand, and I'm buying my dad, because he works out, I'm buying him the All or Nothing pre-workout for his birthday.
Yeah.
Like, if you're
Does he take pre-workout?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. If you're not willing to give it as a gift to your family and be like, I value this so much, here it is for you. If you don't value...
That's a review right there.
if you don't value a product like that, then why do you want to be sponsored by them?
100%.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want to be co-signed with something that you wouldn't bring home and be like, hey, family, like, be proud of me, here you go.
Yeah.
And, we're not looking for, with GymFlo, we aren't looking for everybody to be diehard through and through, like GymFlo is the only thing we take. Obviously, we realize, and we've mentioned this on the last show, that we're not the only brand out there. Yeah. But, it's the fact that you do believe in the product that much and, are obviously what we're all about here that obviously makes you fit that much better. But not everybody is going to only take GymFlo, and we understand that, But hopefully when the topic of quality, integrity, going above and beyond for, experience and customer service, then GymFlo is going to come to mind. Yeah.
Let's get into a little bit of a Olympia talk, if there is something to be had.
I wouldn't even know who's competing.
I know you probably would.
Oh, my God. It's Bumstead, and that's it. Like,
yeah, essentially.
You
he's
said
not
Bumstead?
getting touched, dude. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you see how...
I didn't even think... when you said Olympia, I didn't even think of Classic Physique.
So
this guy looks...
This
guy looks unreal.
To be honest, I don't really even think about Open right now, though I know it'll be pretty competitive. What do you think about Nick Walker?
A meatball.
That kid.
Yeah.
I do know that name.
I say kid.
Motherfucking meatball.
Have to kick this kid off the
mutant.
internet. It's fucking him up back here.
That mutant is insane.
Yeah.
He is insane. And he's so young, so it's like he only has more potential to grow.
Which is scary. Because how far can you put... How much more meat can you put on a frame like that without taking
I don't know.
many, many years off your life?
Well, he reminds me a little bit of Dallas McCarver.
Yeah, and we saw how that happened.
Yeah.
Don't-
It is
don't do
it
it
is
to him.
scary though, because it's
Yeah.
like the only way you can put more meat on that is like
Up and things.
you're
up.
running quite a hefty
Not even just the size,
stack.
but like the veininess of his like calves worries me.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, the varicosis down there and shit.
Yeah.
There's just so
Every time
much.
I see that, it's
and
concerning.
I mean, we know like a lot of bodybuilders, are on like sleep apnea machines and this and that, just because they have so much mass and they're out of breath going up and down stairs and shit. And it's almost like, I don't know. It just
Well,
gets fucking
hopefully,
wild, dude.
hopefully somebody like that, you think it's 2021, almost 2022.
Yeah.
There's got to be coaches, which you hear people like coaches killing people left and right because they're getting them on diuretics
Well,
and a shit ton
listen,
of stuff.
he
now.
takes his revived liver, so
Yeah,
he's probably
covered.
good. He's covered.
I got revived
Yeah.
the other day.
But
You're not 300
you would
pounds, though.
think
You'll
that
be all right.
somebody on the outside, especially at this caliber, is like, hey, all right, here's the game plan. We're hitting this another 3 years, and we got to be out. You got to get in and out. Like, hit it hard. If you're gonna do it, hit it hard for 5 fucking years, crushing gear, food, training, but run your body hard.
Yeah.
Then we're jumping out. You only have like a 5-year span.
Yeah.
Because I mean, with this type of training and that caliber, you have a time
Unless you
span
wanna be
on
like
your.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cane
and I
walking.
think it's just fortunate that he was able to make it out with just some like obviously fucked up spine and whatever, but like without like his heart failing and all that shit. But like,
I think a lot of people think bodybuilding is like inherently healthy, and it's
No.
like
Yeah.
no.
at that caliber,
At
no.
that caliber, I would say like even if you're like low on gear, like there are people who run like basic TRT dosages.
Yeah.
Even like that low on gear, like you can still treat your body really well.
100%.
It's when you get into that like upper echelon of gear that it's
And
like
it's, like we were talking about,
Oh,
like
no.
all those little variables compound, like
Mhm.
all that extra protein on your kidneys is gonna
Yep.
like, and plus the gear. It's just like
Yep.
they all compound, and next
Yeah.
thing you know, it's just like it tanks pretty quick,
yeah.
or out of control. Next thing you know, it's blindsides
So
you.
you're saying creatine's a gateway drug?
Yeah, don't do it, kids.
Okay.
Creatine.
Don't do it. Get off the sauce.
Yeah.
My dad threw away my creatine
Oh,
Oh,
no way!
fuck.
Did he?
when I was 13 or 14. I was 14
You
because
don't
it
need
was
this.
my freshman year of high school. He thought it was a steroid.
My dad did the same.
Threw
We
away
didn't throw it away, but
my
he claimed
creatine.
he claimed it was.
I'm taking this.
Threw
That's
away.
what Keith said.
It's honestly
This is
because
for me.
Yeah.
there was this kid in high school that started working out religiously every day.
Yeah.
And he said he attributed the like size gain to creatine. Excuse me. So me and my best friend were like, "Fuck it, we're gonna start taking
Give me some of
creatine,
that shit.
Yeah.
and we're gonna start working out." That's when I started looking up
Here's
YouTube.
a-
I
videos.
remember kids in high school with creatine are so bad, dude. I remember when I was in class and these kids were like angrily debating with me
Yeah.
that like you gotta cycle off creatine or it's gonna fuck you up.
Oh, yeah.
And
Dude,
that
kids-
HCL is better and
Kids in high school now use SARMs
Oh yeah.
yeah.
instead of creatine. I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
even fucking with you. Like
That's part of the reason why I feel like I don't like where, and I'm being a boomer with this, but I don't like the community of like, I keep using the damn word, like Anthony Mantello and like those younger kids coming up right
Yeah.
now. Not trying to be a hater because they're doing good, they're crushing it. They're obviously way more intelligent with like TikTok and social
Yeah.
media and all that shit. But I almost feel like they're instilling or encouraging the use of like SARMs and these different things earlier on when there's so many kids that are like high school age, just getting into lifting, barely know anything. I feel like I still barely know anything for like lifting. I'm just coming
Yeah.
around the curve. And some of these people are just immediately a first year into lifting. Just let your body grow.
Yeah.
You're 16.
Yeah.
You don't need to take SARMs. It's going to take years to grow. You have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
it's also like
You
at
know?
that age, you're on a cycle. Like puberty is
Yeah.
a test cycle.
Oh, 100%. It's probably your best cycle.
Yeah, and these kids, because they'll
Enjoy
tell
it.
me, working at the supplement shop, like we sell SARMs, and there are kids that will come up to me. And it was mostly like there was. This is not aimed at any like individual, but there's been at least like probably 5 kids that have come up to me asking like how to get sponsored, and then they tell me their stack. They're like, "Oh, I'm stacking MK with this," or I'm on Osterine because it's super mild, and it's like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about Rad 140," and it's like, dude, we're like barely in our 20s,
Yeah.
or we're like, you're literally a teenager. Like, what are you doing to
And
yourself?
it's not even really like I guess it could be an age thing too, or like a age debate, but like it's how many years have you been lifting to begin with? Why have you not like given it some time?
It's a bit of immaturity. I remember like when I was getting into lifting, I would like hear about SARMS when they were coming up, and I would like look into them and things like that, just because you're like, you just want to speed it up.
Yeah.
Or like I'd look at another kid that maybe has better genetics. He's been lifting with the football team, and he's got these fucking killer arms. I'm just focused on bodybuilding. This kid's just lifting for football, and he's bigger than me. Like, what can I do? And so you're just like, I'm just going to hop on this or try this and try that. And there's no side effects because they're SARMs, you know. And you don't really realize it's just one of those things where, you know, you start with one thing, you're going to have to continuously level up. It's kind of like I think Miles touched on it. When you, like, feel so elevated and amazing because of, like, steroids, you're not going to want to, like, eventually come off, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Gateway.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like that's
I wish,
what
you know,
it is.
I don't know if you've ever followed the shows back far enough, but I had started cycling stuff when I was like 23.
Yeah.
And I'm 31 now, almost 32. But I had only been lifting. I had lifted since like 2.5, 3 years. So I started lifting when I was like 20. And was pretty serious about it, going every day.
Yeah.
Not probably eating way back then. Looking back now, I wish I never did. Or I wish I never did, at least that young.
Yeah.
Now I'm at the point where I feel like I could just do what I'm doing and feel optimal.
Yeah.
You know, testosterone wise. But if I have kids that have come up to me in the past, when I say kids, they're like, you know, in 20s, and when that time frame where it came around where I started thinking about it, I was like, dude, do not do it unless you're ready to be able to do it for life.
Yeah.
Because once you start, you're gonna think you're gonna PCT, and some people I'm sure do, but you get to that point, and you're like, damn, I feel great. I'm looking as big as I ever have. I'm feeling full. I'm gonna keep riding this dragon.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, years down the line, you can't come off because you've been on for so long that your nuts just won't turn back on, or they barely will.
Come on, boys.
Next thing you know, you're just gonna have to start.
Giddy
You know,
up.
you have to either get TRT, go to your doctor, and figure out a way to. Which there are ways to fix it, but you know, do you want all that hassle?
Yeah.
For just a little bit of gain, which, you know, it depends on how much you're taking, blah, blah, blah. But that's besides the point.
I think it's the biggest thing is just like the commitment aspect of it.
Yeah, 100%.
Because it's the same people asking me, how do you get a sponsor, that are doing SARMs but aren't committed to the gym.
Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to commit to something that is like chemically altering your body?
Yes.
And you don't even religiously or properly do the thing that you're using to grow, which is break down the muscle.
You've said it before. If you're not consistent enough to follow your diet and training, how are you going to be consistent about what you're taking, the right dosages, blah, blah, blah. So.
Yeah.
This kid I know at the gym, he'll know if he. I don't know if he watches.
He'll
this.
know.
He'll definitely know. But he goes, "Yeah, blacked out the other day." But yeah, I'm taking MK like pretty. I've like.
Is that the one that fucks with your eyesight a little bit? I think so.
MK's the appetite increase. It's like I think it's a ghrelin modifier.
I've heard about one of those where it makes you like stupid hungry.
It's non-androgenic.
Yeah,
androgenic.
Androgenic. Goodness.
Androgenic. It's non-androgenic, so it's considered not a SARM.
Yeah.
But it like specifically targets like your ghrelin, I believe, so that
which is like
it's your hunger hormone.
It's your hunger.
I've heard that the same thing like peptides can do that, or it's IGF-1 or something like that, which is like
IGF-1 is the growth factor.
Growth factor, yeah, that will make you like insanely hungry. I knew a bunch of people that would take an injectable, obviously not a SARM, and they would say within 30 minutes, like they would devour like insane, crazy feeling of hunger, where they would just crush food.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't have a problem usually eating.
I was gonna say like at that age, because it's the age of like 19, 20.
Just go down to 7-Eleven and crush a couple quarter pounders. Yeah,
just eat.
Yeah.
At that age, if you're not like ridiculously hungry, then there's probably something wrong with you, man. Yeah. Like I devour food. The only reason I'm not is because of the main factor I think in my like fat loss stack now is the Oxy Elite Pro. Because it has DMHA in it. I really like the red apple.
Yeah. And
the DMHA just like made me so productive. So obviously when I go to like compete, I'll have to take that off and let it like, because it's water soluble, I'll get it all cleared out. But it just feels like so insane. And I'm kind of losing track of where I'm going with this.
No, I can
Get him
see.
some more DMHA.
Yeah, well, I know like.
Oh,
when-
but my appetite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the appetite. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because it's suppressing my appetite so bad. So when I'm like
Yeah, it will.
ravenously eating, bro, I'm eating like 3 eggs, 4 ounces chicken, half can of green beans, and I'm like, oh, I'm so stuffed.
When we first created the fever, we had DMHA in that as well.
Oh, wow.
Because not only would it increase, because when you're dieting,
Dear Lord.
yeah, right. Well, when you're not as much as
'Cause
the
I've
pre. I
used
think,
the
I think
fever.
we had like 100
Die.
milligrams of DMHA in it. But when
Oh,
you're
wow.
dieting, obviously you're in a usually not the best of moods. The energy's down, but
Yeah.
the DMHA would pick you back up, give you that euphoric, like focused feeling throughout the
Yeah.
day, and also like you were saying, it would suppress your appetite pretty well.
It's like I burned close to 5,000 calories.
Almost like Adderall does.
yesterday.
Not claiming that DMHA is Adderall, but it gives you that almost effect of where like you're focused and like not hungry.
Yeah.
Because I used to take Adderall,
Yeah.
prescribed and not. You would be like, I could play Guitar Hero for hours and not eat or drink anything.
Yeah.
That's why you took it too.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Like, I gotta beat this
well,
level.
you gotta
guys.
most of
grind
the
Guitar
time
Hero.
it'd be dumb, stupid reasons. I was
Yeah.
a kid. Like, this is before like
Yeah.
23. Before that time, this was like teens, just stupid.
Yeah.
Who could play Call of Duty? the
I got
longest?
recommended for Adderall. So, like,
Yeah.
I was like, no. So, I mean, the DMHA
Yeah.
being like, if it's in any what similar, because I've never had Adderall before.
Mhm.
I mean, I have ADD, so it's like, if I use that shit, I'd probably be laser focused.
They give that shit out.
But
I
the
mean,
D-
I feel like
DMHA is just like, if I like being able to control it, and it's not like, oh, I become like psycho reliant on this.
Yeah.
Like, I could just stop
Yeah.
if I wanted to.
yeah,
But
I
with that, you have to like titrate off, or like it could be like bad for your heart, and
yeah,
like
yeah.
you could like
Yeah.
die from it.
I try and avoid putting any kind of like pills or
Straight
pharmaceuticals
edge.
in my body. Yeah, I'm
Straight
a
edge
straight
over
guy.
here.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck I was gonna say.
I take an SSRI at like a super low dose. I take
What the fuck's that?
serotonin selective.
Oh yeah,
reuptake
yeah. You told me
inhibitor.
about that. Okay.
So Prozac,
Yeah, Prozac.
at like 10 milligrams. But
That didn't fucking dumb you down. Did I ask you about that? Like that didn't like.
that's how I started working out,
Okay.
because it was,
So you're overheightened that much to where that like doesn't like crush you and put you like down.
dude, like, so 10 milligrams is really low.
Okay.
But it was around March when, because I the first time I experienced anxiety, I was 15. I had like derealization at like the beach at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and it was the craziest thing. Like, it's that like derealization is like out of body experience, where like you like are out of your body and you can see yourself. And I
I've
was
felt
like-
that before.
I was like, holy fuck, this is terrifying. And then I've had that feeling, that like anxiety since then. It'll like pop up randomly.
Yeah.
And so for me, all my anxiety is like, it's body. I could not tell you what I'm thinking to make me feel anxious. My body is just like, hey, like, we're about to get attacked. So I went therapy as the first route, no medicine, since I was 15 until I was 19
Yeah.
or 20, sorry. So 5 years of therapy and like trying to actively fix it. I was like, finally, all right, I'll take a low dose of something just to like, so I can feel like regular. And so I took it, titrated up and everything. And because the anxiety, I didn't feel it all the time, because its anxiety is so energy draining. Because I didn't feel the energy drain, I was sitting, and this was during COVID, I was sitting in class in my room, like finishing class and Zoom and whatever, like, holy fuck, I'm amped the hell up. I got so much energy. And I'd feel uncomfortable not to get it out. So I started running. Like, my mile time, I was telling you, between 6 and 7 minutes for like 1 or 2 miles.
So what? Obviously, it's trying to like, it's anti-anxiety medication, correct? So it's trying to calm you down,
Yeah.
but it's
Yes.
giving you energy.
Basically, it's supposed to calm you down. So the ADD is like my body being like, we physically need to be moving all the time.
Okay.
So by calming that down, I don't have anxiety, which
Yeah.
is my energy consumer.
Okay.
So now I have all this
Okay.
actual like stored
'Cause
energy I can use.
You have
Okay, I get
anxiety.
that.
Your levels are heightened. Like
Yes.
you're like, like
Yeah.
very sensitive. Whatever. This helps dull it down to where you're like, oh shit, I feel like I can breathe.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like
Okay.
the craziest thing is caffeine used to put me to sleep. Like I'd have
That does that to me.
a Monster or a Bang,
Yeah.
and I'd be like tired as shit. And I was like, I never, like, I eventually started having a lot of coffee, and when
Yeah.
it got, like, over the threshold, then I was like, okay, now I'm amped up.
And it's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like when I get over caffeinated lately, it doesn't even go to anxiety anymore. It just gets irritable. Like, I get stupid irritable.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like I'm like rushing or like feeling like I'm going to get attacked or anything like that. Like, I'm not overthinking. I just get stupid irritable. I'm like, ugh, I feel like nauseous. I feel grumpy.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I've just like oversaturated my body. Like my cells, my receptors are like dead.
I think that's what's really fun too. Is there's so many supplements you can work, and your body is just something entirely different from the next person.
Let me ask you this: would you attribute lifting to helping calming you down? Like, is that like a good like form of anxiety release? I definitely think so. Like when I'm pent up in here, I'm thinking about all the bills and money lost or whatever the fuck is kicking the dick in for the day. Looking forward to the workout and like putting my body through like sweat, grueling, pain sometimes, just whatever. And I finish that, I'm like,
I'm so glad you brought that up, because this is what I was going to tell you earlier that I think you guys would like save it for the pod. I was when I was in here this morning, it's like early, it's like 9 something in the morning, and I'm coming in to work out, and I'm like tired as shit. Yeah. And the like natural light, I was like, oh, this feels so good. This feels like I'm taking care of my like mental. Yeah. I was like, this feels like therapy, because it reminds me exactly of when I was 15. I was like as dedicated as I am to powerlifting and supplements and everything now. That's how I was with soccer. So at that age, I broke my ankle my freshman year playing soccer in a game. And so I had to go to like rehab for my ankle, like therapy. And I had to go at 9 in the morning. It was early as hell. And it was the spring, so it was like cold in the morning. Mm-hmm. And it feels exactly like today. And I used to have to go in, and they'd have me ride a bike. And it'd be like 25 to 30 minutes. And I was
soccer?
Yeah. Okay. I was on a time crunch. I was like trying to heal because it broke in.
Oh, because you broke the ankle. That's why. Gotcha.
I broke it in the spring, and I wanted to be healed and ready for fall. So then I did fall like rec soccer to prepare for spring school soccer. And I get to the winter, and I break my other ankle.
Oh, shit, dude.
Glass ankle.
So I broke both fibulas on either foot.
How?
And so
were they both kind of related?
Damn. The first one was my right ankle. I stuck my foot out to block a shot. I was a left back defender. And the forward hit the ball, and the ball, if this is my ankle, the ball hit the outside of my foot and just snapped like that. And it pulled the
L-shaped fucking foot.
Yes. Yes. And the tendons were so strong, they pulled the bone, and that's how it fractured. I didn't like tear anything. It was literally I just pulled the bone apart, which was like that's how much pressure it was, which was ridiculous. That kid, strong as hell at 14, 15 years old.
He literally kicked through your legs.
He kicked my bones in, man.
Kicked your shit.
And then the second one, this is going into another topic, but I was filming soccer. That's how I got into filming. I did YouTube.
Soccer ain't for you to
I did YouTube.
Away.
Yeah. And that's what got me into photography and YouTube was the soccer. And kids on the soccer team like used to make fun of me and shit, and I used to like grind it out. And I remember trying to get my ankle healed in time to try out for the spring, and it was those early mornings. I was like, this hurts. My ankle physically hurts because it's like healing from being broken, but I have to pound this bike. And it's early and it's cold and I'm looking at the sun, but I got to sweat this out. I got to push it hard so I can make the team and play again. And so when I came in this morning, I was like, oh my God, I feel that like hunger again. Yeah. That like I want it so bad.
I think that it's something, and it could have been just the doors open, the cooler weather, but something about
There's something
the morning.
in the air here at Iron
Man. That too, but like the morning
it's like
sessions.
Fairy dust.
I think it's the fact of not many people being in here. Yep. It's still like usually darkish or the sun isn't all the way up. Yep. It's a different vibe. It's a different animal. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell when like if I don't get the chance to work out in the morning,
sweating and the cool air cools you off.
Oh my God!
And it's something just knowing that like the day hasn't started for most people, and the day hasn't started for me, and I'm beating the day. You know? But I can tell a difference between my morning workouts and my like wasn't able to work out this morning. I have to work out in the evening. The evening, it's just like, oh, not that I hate people or I don't dislike people, but there's a little more people in here, so I'm having to like watch equipment, this and that, and it's just like so much more is on your mind already from the day, what you still have to get done or what you're thinking about for tomorrow or whatever the case may be. Just something about the morning, coming in with a fresh mind, like almost thoughtless for the most part.
I think it helps a lot with recovery too.
Yeah.
Because when I was at the beach a couple months ago, I was at Topsail Fit, which is this awesome.
Topsail Island.
Yeah, Topsail Island.
Yeah, I go down there
North
quite
Carolina.
often. I love it.
Love that place.
Yeah.
That Topsail Fit gym has calibrated rogue plates just like this.
Yeah.
And I would go in the morning because I had to take the car, and we were at the beach, so it's like I'd have to go before my family was up. So I was going pretty early in the morning, clocking in, doing some heavy weight. But that's the best I've ever felt in my life, was that week of lifting like that. And then I'd go back to the house, and my body is broken down. I'm tired. So now I have to think about how to fuel my body for the rest of the day leading up to when I go to sleep. And then I sleep, and I'm filled up with food. I'm filled up with nutrients and vitamins. Mm-hmm. So my sleep has never been better. Every time I work out in the morning.
Lifting in the morning's key. People don't want to hear it. But think about it. You wait. The only thing that fucks you is you can only get one, or ideally, if you push it a little bit later, 2 meals in.
Yep.
But you lift. I feel like, I know it doesn't fucking matter, but I feel like everything I eat later in the day is fueling my body from that workout.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
And then you sleep, you feel good, and you wake up refreshed. The biggest reason I do it, and I want to say something else about like the how working out does for you mentally too, but oh fuck, I just did it to myself. Wait, I'm trying to remember.
Lose train of thought?
Yeah.
Mental.
Working out in the morning. No, it was before that.
It's the key, the eating.
Oh, no. It's back.
There we go.
Don't click off the podcast. The reason I work out in the morning, too, is because I'm not focused on anything else in the day. Clear mind.
Yeah.
And I can just go in. I don't have to. I mean, obviously, I got shit later on in the day, but I'm like, this is the first thing I'm doing. It's the only thing I'm focused on right now is just me and this workout. And then the thing I want to say about the stress is the more I've been running, it's made my schedule, as you mentioned, way more hectic. But the running has almost like relieved the stress that's been added. It almost like even negated it more to where Friday night I went for a 4-mile run. It was like a cool kind of like evening. And I just worked. I had been at the gym from 5 a.m. to 6 p.m. And it was just such a fucking long day, a long week of work, a lot of stress. My parents are going through this sale at their home because, like you mentioned, like I'm also moving out in a week to a new place. So a lot of changes going on. Our stuff's all over the place. It's just been stressful, but running there for those like 40 minutes, 35 minutes just felt so relaxing. It just brought me a lot of like peace of mind and allowed me to just kind of be more present in the moment. And that's what working out can do for you.
Yeah, and I think topping on that, my thoughts on, because I'll usually work out in the morning, and then at the end of the day, most of the time I save the bike for the end of the day, whether it's on the stationary or outside. But when I do hit the bike at the end of the day, after I'm done, it's usually I don't come back in here and do anything else. I hit the bike and I leave.
Yep.
You almost start the day accomplished and you end the day accomplished. Yep. You know, you did something at the beginning, regardless of whatever happened throughout the day. Hopefully you're getting W's throughout the day as well, but you at least finish the day doing something more productive to where at least like you finish the day on a lighter foot.
I think it's that endorphin release.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like it's accomplished.
I started doing so I do landscaping on the weekends too. That's just like how I make a little bit extra money here and there. And so those days where I'm like mowing a yard, or I have like about 6 to 8 yards I mow every other week.
Yeah.
So I'll have like 3 in a day, and I'll just like bang them out. And I love the sweat. Like I wear pants and I'm still covering the tattoo.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And still covering the tattoo with the long sleeves. I am drenched. I get home and I literally I have to put my clothes straight into the washer because they're already so soaked. It's like there's no water that needs to be added.
Ain't nothing like a little sweat equity.
But if I do that and then I lift, I'm so tired. But like today, the plan is lift in the morning, felt great, go throughout the day. And if I'm tired, I can be like, hey, man, you got through that hard-ass workout this morning. You could get through this. It's like motivation.
Yeah.
And then I keep going until the end of the day, and I'm like,
I feel like the hard part's done for the day.
it's like I deserve to be tired. I've worked really hard. And then hop on the treadmill, throw the hoodie on, sweat it out before bed, get that little bit of endorphin release. And then as soon as those crash, I'll like have a meal. And then the crash from the meal and the endorphins together. Been sleeping so good recently.
My sleep has been on and off. Been waking up a little weird. I think I got my own thing I'm just trying to deal with, I guess. I don't know. But, like, I woke up last night. Came in, worked out, felt great. But I woke up last night at fucking 12:30-ish.
Yeah.
Shirt drenched. Head, like, I just got out the shower. Pillow soaking wet. You know, one of those deals where you, like, wake up and you thought, like, you pissed yourself a little bit or something happened.
Going to work while you're asleep.
Yeah, and I woke up, and Sarah was, like, on the other side of the bed. So I was like, I'm glad she hadn't lain in this pool of sweat. And I pulled my shirt off. You know what I did? I hopped right back in bed, flipped the pillow over. But, you know, it's just I woke up and I was like, dude, that was random as shit.
Yeah.
And it's not like I felt like sick or anything. I just woke up drenched. It's too much trend.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But that's like how my nights have been. It's been random.
You know what puts you to sleep? Some good lovins.
That's what I was about to say. I was going to say a different word. But what'd you call it? That itis.
Yeah.
That NyQuil.
Yeah.
I think I feel like
Are you sleepy as shit after you have sex? Some dudes.
I gotta think about it.
Dude, you're not passed out most of the time.
So I think I've talked about it, but usually I have a little protocol. It's definitely immediately grab a glass of water or something to drink.
Yeah. You need
It's usually Cottonmouth. Like, it's like the best water ever. It's like I'll slug it, or whatever drink it might be.
Yeah.
And I usually go lay down and
dude.
pass out.
I'm like
usually
right,
most of the time. Sometimes depends on the time of day. I'll have a meal post workout.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes I'll have but it's like immediately.
That's when you take 2 scoops of Overcome, right?
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
But
I'm definitely just need to take a minute to like recollect, and then I go straight to pee, and then I slam water.
No, that's me.
So much water, and then it'll be a shower after. It depends like what else is going on. If it's like during the day.
If it's during the day, I won't be as like sleepy. But if it's any time past like 8, I'm I might brush the teeth before bed, something quick. But then, dude, I'm out.
Enough time to say goodnight.
I'll hop in to rinse off, and then
your cab's outside.
I'll rinse off, and then I'll come back inside, or I say not inside. I'll come back
outside.
I'll rinse off.
Come back inside.
And then I'll come back in the room, and I'll lay down, and I'll be like, okay, now, you can have your private time in the bathroom to do whatever, and then and then I'm always dozing off, and she's like, aren't you gonna come brush your teeth? And I'm like, fuck, yeah, I gotta brush the teeth. So shout out my girlfriend taking care of my teeth.
Good for her. My wife will bitch and complain. I usually make it to brush my teeth, but sometimes the showering is the part for me.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah,
I'll shower all the time.
Well, no, I shower once a day, but shower sometimes doesn't happen after.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it's
it's like
got that funk.
Sometimes it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
It's the All or Nothing show.
It's kind of a crazy. The shower in the morning is kind of crazy though, because you're like, I get to like.
100%.
Really
so much better.
Plus,
in the morning.
I don't know. I don't often get to do it, but I do like a good morning shower. It wakes me up. Like, it makes my day start off that much better. Talking about a workout.
Yeah.
If I wake up and I shower early enough to like completely dry off and I feel like fresh, ready to go, I'm fucking killing it.
I showered this morning, trimmed the legs, used a little shaver.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it, man.
All right, quick question. Do you shave them or do you buzz them with no guard?
I did buzz with the 1 millimeter guard that is literally like the exact same. It's basically just so I don't nick my skin.
Yeah.
It's the bare.
I'm the only
guard.
man with a set of nuts.
And you
to use a razor.
And you do all your arms too, right?
Arms a straight razor.
Oh.
How did come you straight razor the arms and not the legs?
That's easy. That's so easy. Well, you have to. My leg hair grows really fast, so there was a lot, and I had to buzz it.
Oh, so that was your first time.
Yeah.
So you did an initial buzz.
Yeah. I might end up like straight razor shaving the legs
if
later.
you stay on top of it, you can.
Yeah. Like I try and do it once a week. Yeah.
I say
I buzz these things.
The jewels, I go straight razor too.
Yeah. I see.
No, I do that.
Him and Griffin were always like,
I cannot do electric.
No, electric
the jewels,
gets me.
the boys, no, they get they get edged up.
Straight razor.
Straight razor.
Yeah.
They get blades.
Okay, yeah.
No, everything else though, no.
Because
That's intricate.
that holy triangle
Yeah.
is all straight razor.
I break out the fine tool. Intricate.
Yeah.
You don't want to slip up.
Yeah.
I take my time.
You got like
Things
the ring
happen.
magnifier.
Yeah.
behind it, just-
I'm gonna have to start wearing my glasses to do it for real
Yeah.
because
My
it's been bad.
a frequent visitor of the gym as a gamer Trick, he's sponsored by Manscaping or whatever.
Oh, nice.
And he brought in his toolkit one day. He's got
Okay.
like the ball trimmer,
2.0
the 2.0.
Yeah.
It's 4.0
the-
nowadays.
Oh my
yeah.
God, 4.
I think
Yeah.
he's got the they had so many funny names of them.
All the different shit.
There's
But-
so many good names
Yeah, I was
to
like,
it.
damn, dude. But I still haven't bought one of them. I think he gave me a couple pieces of them, but
They were talking about it in the powerlifting group
Used.
chat.
yeah.
They were like, "Hey, can I borrow your lawnmower 2.0?"
No.
Lawnmower, that's what it
Charger?
is. And you get the ball
Charger.
trimmer, lawnmower.
Yeah.
Oh, they just
And they
brought
got the
charger.
ball
Okay.
conditioner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can soften them up.
I don't think you need.
I
to
think
do
they're
all that
plenty
shit.
soft.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
if you want to be like
if you get
on your
hard
game,
nuts,
Yeah.
on your game,
I don't got callous
best
nuts. to be
best
honest.
nuts you've ever had. But
That's a good way to end the show.
yeah, 100%.
bit
Well,
of ball
Peyton,
talk.
thank you a ton for coming out here. I know
Thanks
this
for
is
having
like
me.
very impromptu, just hitting you up.
Hey,
but
that's totally
glad
fine
to
by
have
me.
you out here.
Glad
Make
to be
sure
on.
you. Hey, what do you think about this past weekend's content? You like shooting all that stuff?
I love that.
I hopefully
That was so
that was our
fun.
first time doing that. So
Yeah.
hopefully, what I'm talking about is we put together. Hopefully, once a month we're gonna have some content days, having everybody out here having a good time. But hopefully, moving forward, we'll have that a
Yeah.
little bit. I'm still learning how to set things up, and like, it was way more cluttered than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
With me working with Griffin to get some shots, but
I'm
hopefully
thinking
it'll be
about
smoother.
probably hiring him to shoot some videos
you should,
for
man.
me. Because
Great
I
shot.
want to pursue YouTube.
yeah,
Because I've done one video on YouTube and I had people comment like, "Yo, make more."
hell yeah.
And I have a whole video I need to edit. It's probably like
It's just like we talked about, man. Prioritize.
it's maybe a little too old. It's like a week old, but I need to go ahead and try to get it posted before Thursday.
100%.
I think I just
Everybody
need to
will
get it out
know.
there.
I got
Yeah.
one live right now. Go
Oh
watch.
shit.
Oh, nice.
Well, anyways, again, thank you for coming back on, Peyton, and
Thanks for having me.
make sure you follow us all down in the description below.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see y'all next week.
See you.
Sounds
We're
good.
out.
See you.